8.3 Administration Tests by Ruben Simmons for Basilisk Sports and Exercise Science. Client Consultation and Profile. My client for today's session was Rudy. He was born on the 1st of the 2nd, 2002. Comes in at a height of 5'8" and weighs 70 kilos with a BMI of 25. I asked him if he had eaten a proper amount of food before the training session, as lack of food could lead to a lack of good performance. He said yes, he has had a full breakfast. I asked him if he had recently experienced any spells of dizziness or had been feeling faint. He responded with no, I feel fine. I asked if he had any serious injuries which could interfere with testing. No, he said he had no serious injuries, but I do know for a fact that he did have a leg injury that he got checked out and has now come back fine. I asked him if he consumed any alcoholic drinks. He said no. I asked if there's any other information he thinks I should know about before testing. He said no, he doesn't think so. Test information. The components of fitness I have chosen that I believe line up with my client's requirements are coordination, body composition, flexibility, aerobic capacity, power, and muscular strength. I'll justify these tests later in this presentation. For the wall catch was the test that was chosen for coordination. The protocol for this test is the client must stand 2 meters away from the flat wall. The client will then pass a chosen ball to the wall to his other hand in a repeated process. The measurement of the client's success is determined upon the number of passes he can successfully make, recorded within a time period of 30 seconds. The more passes he can make, the better his coordination. Requirements, as in things I need to make this test happen: measuring tape to measure the 2 meters, timer to measure the 30 seconds, and a bounceable ball, which in this case was a tennis ball. Skinfold caliber was chosen for body composition. For this test, I must hold a small fold of a client's skin at the chosen site. For me, this was on his just above his hip. My thumb and index finger, which I would then lift up slightly so I can place the calipers on that skin fold at roughly a 90-degree angle, 1 centimeter below my fingers. I will then release my fingers while increasing the pressure I apply on the calipers to get a more accurate reading. I will then pull away the calipers, look at the little dial with the needle, look at the number the needle is pointing at, and record that number. This will be used to measure his body composition. For this test, I will only require the skinfold calipers. Sit and reach test was chosen for flexibility, for which my client sits on the floor with his legs outstretched, looking straight ahead with both shoes removed and his feet placed against the sit and reach measuring box. Both of his knees must be together and flat along with the floor, along with his palms, which must be facing down. The client then has a proper practice of reaches before reaching forward as far as he possibly can. He will hold his position for 2 seconds while distance is recorded, and I will take the mean average of 3 tries. This will be used to measure his flexibility. For this quest, I will only require a sit and reach box. Yo-yo test for aerobic capacity. For the yo-yo test, cones are placed 20 meters apart. The athlete starts on the first cone and proceeds to run to the second cone upon hearing a beep from a recording from a tape being placed on a speaker, very audible to the athlete or client. My client will then, once he reaches the second cone, wait until he hears the second beep and then run back to the first cone before the third beep sounds. There is then a third cone which is just beyond the first cone, which the client can then walk to and then walk back. The test continues until the client fails to reach cone before the appropriate beep, and then the current level that they were on is recorded. This is their score for that test. The delay time of each beep is decreased as the time goes on, which increases the difficulty as the test. For this test, you require a multi-stage fitness test tape and a speaker to play the tape on. Power. For this test, we chose a standing vertical jump. A 2-foot takeoff is used while the subject attempts to jump as far as possible into the air. He then has to land on both feet without falling backwards, all while wearing a take-high jump meter. The vertical distance was recorded as stated on the jump meter. Before the test, make sure that the wire on the jump meter is pulled tight so that the test is accurate. This test only requires a Taco jump meter, which includes the measurement device which is placed around the client's waist and the pad for him to stand on. Muscular strength. For muscular strength, we use a dynamometer, which is for his grip. You input the client's age into the dynamometer, and the client then holds the meter in his dominant hand with his arm outstretched towards the sky. The client then grips the meter as hard as possible, all while lowering his arm sideways, making sure he keeps it outstretched. You then will record the numeral score given on the hand grip dynamometer. This test only requires the hand grip dynamometer. Reasons to defer or to terminate testing. If the client experiences sudden injury during or before, or no test should be conducted or before or after. The time for illness, no test should be recorded while the client is ill, as this will interfere with the accuracy of the results. If the client does, however, feel better within a short period of time, then you can continue testing. That is up to the client. If any equipment proves to be faulty, this can be during or before, or during the test or before the test. If any equipment appears to not be working correctly, that means that the test will not be accurate if taken, so that test should be avoided, but other tests can be conducted. If the athlete appears to be tired or suffering from mental fatigue, then testing should be halted, as the results will not be accurate. If there's poor weather conditions which could possibly affect the athlete's performance during the test should not be conducted either. Risk assessment. The risk assessment for my client testing, which was conducted in the sports hall on the 28th of the 1st, 2019. One of the hazards is a water bottle spill, which could cause someone to fall. Everyone is at risk to this. One of the controls to be put in place is to remind the client before testing to take care of their water. The likeliness of it happening is 3. The outcome out of 5 is 3. Therefore, the risk rating is 9. Action necessary as the assessor, in this case me, should check there are no water bottles left anywhere that could be where they are in danger of being tipped over. Another hazard is tripping over cones. Everyone is at risk to this. You should be using brightly coloured cones, which we did, red and yellow, which are easily seeable, so more likely to avoid. Lines happening is 2. The outcome is 3. Risk rating of 6. Remind client to watch out for the cones when they are running. Inappropriate shoes could cause falling or slipping while testing. The client is at risk to this and should only be allowed to perform the test if the only correct outward. The likeliness is happening is 2. Outcome is 2, as the client would not be performing the risk really if they're in the incorrect flow, and no assessor would let them do the test. Therefore, the risk rating is only 4. The client should have been reminded of the necessary dress requirements before the session starts. Muscle sprain or injury while testing. Only the client is at risk to this again. The client should be given short break between the tests to allow their muscles to regroup and therefore not to strain too much. Largest happening is 2. Quite a severe outcome of 4, giving a risk rating of 8. Client's condition should be checked on every other test by asking how they're feeling and make sure they have not experienced any muscle sprain or injury that could worsen throughout the test. My justifications for each test. I chose the component of coordination, for which I chose the wall catch. My client is a goalie. He needs to have good coordination, especially with his hands, so he can catch and to save the ball while playing football, which makes the wall catch test all more appropriate since it's exactly what he would do in game. Body composition. It's important that my goalie is not overweight and does not have excess fat, as he needs to be light on his feet, therefore to move to the ball faster and to jump higher, as he is carrying no excess baggage. Flexibility. Sit and reach is important for my client to be flexible so that he can extend his body to the height to the amount he needs to reach for long saves such as top and bottom corners. It's important for my client to have good aerobic capacity via the Euro test. While anaerobic capacity is the more dominant need for a goalie, he still requires aerobic capacity, as the goalie must keep up his energy throughout this 90-minute plus game, as he may have to make critical game deciding saves very late in the game or in overtime, or if it comes to it, penalty shootout, which is the main reason he needs good aerobic capacity, as it will be an hour and a half in, and this is the most crucial time for the goalie. Power, he needs a good standing vertical jump to be able to reach for the top corner and the bottom corner very quickly. And he needs good muscular strength. And we chose the Dynamotor because this is predominantly hand strength, as my client needs good strong hands to be able to stop fast and hard shots from bending his hand backwards and therefore going into the goal. He needs to be able to stop them in their tracks and keep them from crossing the line. These are my photographic evidence for my tests. For the yo-yo test, my client scored a score of 15.5. As you can see from this table, 15.5 fits in between below average and very poor. This table was based upon the normative data I have at the bottom, which selects an average rating for a male to be between 15.7 and 17.2. This means I think my client could definitely improve his aerobic capacity. For this, I recommend he goes to the gym, which I prescribed to him in my previous presentation, and uses the treadmill to practice running for a short period every other day. This will help increase his aerobic capacity and get him used to doing some more exercise for aerobic capacity. As he says himself, he does not do any aerobic exercise. To go along with the treadmill, I also suggest you take short runs outside in the open world, as this is more of a football-like environment, as you have the weather factors and all the natural factors that go with being outside. Sit and reach test. For this test, my client scored a result of 26 centimeters. As you can see by the normative data, which I based upon my table, 26 fits in between below average and poor once again, with average being 30.5. This is justified for his specific age group. This means that his sit and reach could definitely be improved upon, because we want to get to at least average, preferably above average or good or excellent, considering it is so essential for his sport. For this, I recommend some bridge exercises. The base of a bridge exercise involves the body balancing on the head, shoulders and the feet with the hands flat against the floor, while lifting up your crotch and your bottom to create a straight line, sort of like a bridge, and holding that position. That is the most common way of doing it. This will help improve flexibility in his legs and his hips. I also recommend he does bot squats. Squats involve going into a squatting position and lowering down into a squat until your bottom reaches either a chair or a box you have placed behind you. This will help improve the flexibility in his hips. For the wall catch test, my client scored a result of 28. As you can see from my bar chart, based on the normative data, 28 puts in between good and average, which is fine, but considering how important coordination is to my client for his sport, we would prefer him to be between good and excellent. To improve this, all I can recommend doing is practice catching, particularly doing the wall catch test himself. This is one of those things where practice makes perfect, and you have to train your coordination, your eyes and your hands to become used to each other and to act in sync. So wall catch is a very easy one, because it can be done with balls of all shapes and sizes. It can be done with a football, with your feet or your hands if you want to. Either one's fine. For feet, you can do keepy uppies. Just passing the ball up and down to yourself will help improve your eye to foot coordination. Or, much like the wall catch, get a smaller ball, or you can do a football and do the wall catch test yourself. Try and improve it. Try and record your scores. Try and beat your score. Try and get your body used to that motion and improve on it. Vertical leap, my client read a result of 38, which as shown by the table fits in between below average and poor. I believe this is probably due to the lack of muscular strength in my client's legs and his body mass. For this, I recommend plyometric exercises such as a front box jump, lateral box jump, broad jumps, scissor jumps, lateral box shuffles, all of them which will help increase the muscle fibers and the fast twitch fibers in his legs to help him jump better and farther. I also recommend jump squats, squatting, jumping. While this will also improve the flexibility for our flexibility test, it will still have the benefit of helping him jump higher. I also recommend box jumps, which include quite simply getting something like a box or a steady chair or a small table, put it in front of you, jumping onto it, jumping off, jumping onto it, jumping off. Increase the height for a steady increase and to be able to measure your improvements. Overall, I just would recommend jumping in general. That is how one improves their vertical leap, just jumping higher and higher, and increasing the level you make yourself jump each time. And your body will just learn that it has to do this. This is what I need to do. This is what you're putting your body through, and your body will adjust. Hand dynamometer test. My client got a result of 38 kg. One of his more positive results is this fits very, very close to above average and above average based on the data that I have below it as my normative data. For this, I can recommend a hand exerciser, which is a simple metal thing you can buy on Amazon for like £5 to £10. It's a metal thing with 2 hand grips which you just have between your hands, and you just squeeze on it. And it's a really easy thing to do, as you can do it in your day-to-day life. You just keep it next to you where you usually sit down and watch TV. You watch TV. Say you're watching a football game during the advert breaks. Pick up your hand sanitizer. Just start squeezing it. Watch it. Watch the adverts. Do whatever else you have to do during the advert. Just while you're doing anything, just give it a little press. Over time, you'll notice your improvements. You notice you can increase the weight on your hand exerciser, and it ends up really going really well. And to improve the overall strength in his arms, I recommend some weight exercises. Just going to the gym, lifting dumbbells, weights, improving each time. I think it's fairly self-explanatory how lifting weights can help the muscles in your arm get stronger. But yes, this is definitely necessary for a goalkeeper to help stop the ball. So I recommend both of these. Skin ball caliber test. My client got a result of 122, which fits between below average and poor based on normative data. This was to be expected, as we've already done a similar test in class on my time with the skin pole caliber, which proves that he is slightly overweight. And so I'm transporting my recommendations before over to here, which is eat less food more often, as this is your metabolism while still preventing hunger and controlling your blood sugar, which results in your body burning more calories overall. Also, when you eat these meals, which I suggest maybe 5 small meals a day instead of your usual 3 main meals, you should try to eat until you're no longer hungry, rather than until you're completely full or stuffed. Just eat until you don't feel like you really need to eat anymore. For this adjustment period, almost treat eating as more of a must thing rather than an enjoyment. Also, eat more nutrient foods, and tying into that, eat your 5 a day. He stated in his interview in my previous presentation that he does not stick to his 5 a day. My client should stick to his 5 a day, as should anyone, to help improve their body mass and their health. Very simple. Set up a table, put it into your shopping list. 5 fruits a day. Have them planned out. Have them as set, ready meal preps. Take them to school with you. Take them to your lunch. Have them after your dinner. Get ones that you really enjoy, that you will want to eat, not that you have to eat. Don't make it feel like a chore. Make it something you want to do whilst knowing it's going to improve your health. And final, this is the copy of the data collection and the informed consent and PAR-Q questions I gave to my client before starting our fitness tests. And then this is a copy of the data collection sheet which I used to record my client's results during those tests.